Hello, my name is Tasnim Tarannum, and I am a senior studying biological sciences at the University of Buffalo. My research topic is cognitive impairments of mild traumatic brain injury in survivors of intimate partner violence. My research mentor is Dr. Gonzalez Salim of the Brain Recovery and Function Lab. So if anyone is uncomfortable with the contents, you can log off at any time. I really appreciate your participation. So you may be wondering, what is intimate partner violence, or IPV for short? And it's violence between spouses or significant others that can include blows to the head, being violently shaken, strangulation, as well as emotional abuse. And an important statistic to note is that 1 in 3 women in the United States have suffered from IPV. This is the same percentage of women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer. However, there is not enough coverage in the media or in the scientific community about IPV survivors and their daily participation. So what is IPV-related MTBI? So mild traumatic brain injury is brain injury resulted from physical violence from intimate partners, and 1 in 5 women have experienced physical violence in the United States. Another important thing is, what is cognitive impairments due to mild traumatic brain injury? And this includes having trouble recalling memories or time, as well as sequencing events, and general forgetfulness. People also have trouble with their reasoning skills and have impaired judgment, as well as abstraction, such as recalling things from the past or even things learned in school or in the workplace. And our main research question is, how does IPV-related MTBI affect cognitive impairments in female survivors? And we did this study through Zoom, through a telehealth study, to make it more accessible to as many women as possible. And one of the most important objective assessments for this study was the Montreal Cognitive Assessment. Even though we included a lot of women in this study, we only included one for this presentation, which is a 24-year-old female IPV survivor. And an important thing to note about the Montreal Cognitive Assessment Exam, it's used to test for cognitive impairments in different populations, such as the elderly, children, as well as IPV survivors. And one of the main elements is visuospatial or executive function, where we test our participants on how well they can draw certain things, such as a cube or a clock, as well as the naming portion, where we ask them about common occurrences such as zoo animals. And another important thing is memory. So we give them a couple of words, and then after 5 minutes, we ask them to recall as many words as possible without any help, just to see how their memory is, as well as attention with dealing with different numbers, and language to see if they can structure their sentences properly. And abstraction includes relating 2 or more terms to each other, such as an orange and a banana would both be considered fruit. Another important element is orientation, where we ask them about where they are currently, as well as the current date. This exam is scored on a scale of 0 to 30, where a score of 25 or above includes normal cognitive functioning. However, between 18 and 25 is mild cognitive impairment. So one of our most important results for a participant is that they scored a 21 out of 30, which suggests mild cognitive impairment, and they lost points in language, abstraction, as well as delayed recall or memory. One of the most important takeaways is that there needs to be more objective assessments for IPV survivors. Although the MOCA exam does help identify mild cognitive impairments in this population. There still needs to be more assessments to better gauge the impact of cognitive impairments on daily participation, such as professional jobs, as well as personal care of family members and themselves. And one of the most important takeaways is that many clinicians are unsure of how to deal with this very vulnerable population. So these kinds of objective assessments would help them better serve this population, as well as provide IPV survivors with more comfort to know that their symptoms aren't just going unnoticed because of lack of research. So I think it's very important that the medical research helps clinicians and helps IPV survivors as well.